Right. I think I might need to address my analogy about the delusional person who believes the human race to be an inherently evil alien one, and subsequently decides to save humanity by eliminating the evil. It is true that he would be employing the same morality in his quest, but the outcomes are a symptom of his delusion. So I suppose it is also true, in that sense, that there can be a universal morality. However, we must realise that we are all, to varying degrees, delusional, and therefore the outcomes will vary also. So again, I believe Sam's minimalistic proposal that the absolute worst suffering for all beings is bad holds true, and is an excellent place to start. However, if you want a morality, However, if you want a morality that is universal in its outcomes, I'm afraid it will never be in tune with all subjective experiences of all beings in the universe, as irreconcilable opposites exist. Thankfully, as I've stated more times than I care to imagine, subjective experience is all that matters, and there is no objective observer of the universe, and if there were, it still would not matter. My point is, I get the impression that people try to create a morality as if they were creating it for a conscious universe, as in a universe that is conscious independent of the conscious entities within it. And this is foolish, because unless it is contained within your morality to abide by the morality of this conscious universe, it has no bearing on your own. I really just did not get my point across in that one. That's great. I've known many people that on the surface are intelligent people, yet claim to believe in God. More specifically, a Christian God. More specifically, a Christian God rather than just the God that has never spoken. Now, bear with me here. Oh God! But I'm starting with the assumption that there is a finite number of character traits humans are capable of, and one of these that is prevalent among a large percentage of the population is submission to authority without question. I don't think it's unreasonable to believe the same mentality that allows these people to believe in something as demonstrably improbable as their God, emphasis on the their, is capable of being taken advantage of by something like the Nazi movement. I can almost sympathise with the religious types, because they're only ever really up against the greatest authority of all in their minds, their parents. Greatest authority of all in their minds, their parents. I'm fortunate enough that religion was never forced upon me, and I suppose you could say I had a choice, and I struggle to imagine if anyone was really given a truly impartial choice, they would choose a God of Scripture, especially given how much we know now. Of course, this isn't the reason for all who are religious, but it almost certainly is the case for some, a greater percentage than of people of no faith. Ultimately, because subjective experience is the only thing that's real, and therefore the only thing that matters, everything we do is selfish, or at least should be. Even grief. The only reason you're grieving is because you're upset. You're upset about your poor investment. You invested a great deal of time and effort into a person, and now that they're no longer around, you're missing out on the happiness they would have allowed you to feel, I suppose. Even in the case of the death of a newborn child, the time, effort, and anguish that went into preparing, both mentally and physically, for having the baby, and the physical pain and restrictions it imposed were in vain, as you'll never be able to reap the rewards that you felt you had been promised in the prospect of having that child. We don't cry for all the potential children we lose every time we masturbate, but that's because we don't make a sacrifice of any kind. Well, that was a really uplifting little thing there, Ollie. Thanks for bringing it into the world. When you in a couple years' time, you can listen back to this and go, "Wow, this was great." So, hi, Ollie. I know you're there and you're the best. So I hope heaven or hell's good, because they're real, and you're there. So, okay, bye.